Hello everyone, myself Swati Brejal from Jagran Public School, Lucknow. In this video, we will study about the topic data handling. The topics to be covered in this video are raw data, there are two types of data, primary data and secondary data, observations, frequency, array, tabulation of data and statistic. But before understanding these terms of data handling, let's first understand what is data handling. Let's take an example. The attendance for the month of February 2020 for class 6 is 22, 28, 30, like this, so on. This example shows the attendance of class 6 for the entire month of February. What are these numbers? These numbers show us that on 1st of February the attendance was 22. On 2nd of February the attendance was 28. And on 3rd of February the attendance was 30. Like this, so on. So it actually tells us how many students were present on which date of February. This is the set of data. Hence we can say that this is an example of data. So these numbers are containing information. Hence these numbers all together are giving us information about the attendance of student for the entire month of February. Now if I ask you on which date the attendance was maximum, so what you will do? You will see to the data and you will see that number 30, which is the maximum number, has been repeated on 4 dates. So on that 4 date, we will be saying that the attendance was maximum. This type of data in which so many numbers are written using comma, comma and comma are called your raw data. Now let's see what is raw data. It is the data collected in its original form. Original form means it has been collected as it has been provided to you. We record the information in the same way as it has been given to us. Let's take another example. Happy Children's Club has children from different age groups. The raw data showing ages of 30 children is this: 8, 8, 6, 12. What are these numbers? Now, in this example, the number 8 shows the age of a different member. The other member is having the age of 6. The other member is having the age of 12. Like this, so on. Now, in this example, the data is showing you the ages of different members of the group. Hence, now this data is giving us information about the ages of the members. But if I ask you which member is having the maximum age or which member is having the minimum age, then again what you will be doing? You will be seeing to the data and you will be telling that the minimum number is the minimum age and the maximum number is the maximum age. Hence, again it is a tedious job of seeing whole data and then answering the question. So, we need to analyze the data. Why do we analyze the data? To see to the data. But how to analyze the data is data handling. But before seeing how to analyze the data or how to organize the data, we should know some terms of data handling. Every time I am repeating the word data, data, data. Actually, what is data? It is a set of numerical figures conveying some information. Like suppose, if I give you these numbers, what are these numbers? You might be thinking, are these numbers the number of members? Are these numbers the number of books, or these numbers are the marks? But if I tell you, these are the scores of 10 students in a class, then this data has become meaningful. Why? Now this data is giving you information about the scores of 10 students in a class. Hence, now you have understood what is data. It is the data that gives you some information. Till the time it has not been given any information, these are just numbers. Now, since they are giving you information, it has become meaningful. Now, there are two types of data: primary data and secondary data. Primary data is the data when the individual himself collects the information, and secondary data is when someone else collects the information for you. Now let's see what is primary data. The data collected by an individual for some specific purpose. It is the type of data which are collected for the first time. It is collected by the researchers directly from the main sources. These are your original data. Like for example, data collected by the student for debate competition. Then the student himself is going to different classes and collecting the data. That will be your primary data. Now let's see what is secondary data. The data collected by someone else other than the individual. It refers to those data which have already been collected by someone else. These are usually easily available to researchers and individuals because these are mostly shared publicly. For example, information collected by government for tax payment. In this, someone else is collecting the information. Now let's see the difference between primary data and secondary data. Primary data is often reliable, authentic and objective as it is collected with the purpose of addressing a particular research. It is not commonly collected because of high cost of implementation. Why the cost of implementation is high? Because this is not collected by any of the individual. These are collected by government authorized agencies, investigators, research-based private institutions, etc. But these are more capable of solving a problem because they are collected for a particular research. Okay, then comes your secondary data. It is easily available on different platforms that can be assessed by the researcher. It is affordable and time required to collect secondary data is usually very little compared to the primary data. But these are less authentic, less reliable and need to be further verified. Why it needs to be further verified? Because these are not collected for a particular problem. Hence, these are less capable to solve the problem also. Hence, that is the difference between primary data and secondary data. Next comes your observations. It is the individual numbers in the data. Let's again take an example. The players of class 6 cricket team of a school made following runs in a one-day match. Like this, different numbers 15, 20, 3, 0 are your observations. Each and every number written is your observation. They all together are forming a data. Hence, we can say that each and every item or each and every number in the data is called the observation of the data. Next comes your frequency. It is the number of times an observation occurs in a data. As many times the number has been repeated, that is the frequency of the observation. Again, let's take an example. Following are the number of members in 20 families in a village. These are the numbers. Now, see. The number 2 has been written only one time in the data. So, its frequency is 1. The number 3 is again written only one time in the data. So, again its frequency is 1. But now see, the number 5 has been written 4 times in the data. So, its frequency is 4. In the same way, number 6 has been written 6 times in the data. So, its frequency is 6. Now, number 7. Number 7 is written 5 times in the data. So, its frequency is 5. And finally, the highest number 8 has been written 3 times. So, its frequency is 3. Like this, as many times the number has been repeated in the data, that will be the frequency of the observation. Okay? Now, let's see what is an array. Arrangement of numerical data in increasing or decreasing order. Increasing order means from the smallest number to the biggest number, or in decreasing order means from the biggest number to the smallest number. Let's take an example. The number of members in 20 families in a village. How we will be writing in ascending order? This. The number 2 is the smallest. So, I have written in the beginning. But since number 2 has only been written one time in the data, so we will also write only one time. Then comes your number 3. The number 3 is the next number. But it has also been written only one time. So, I am also writing it one time. Then comes your number 5. The number 5 has been written 4 times. So, we will also write it 4 times. Then comes your number 6. It has been written 6 times. So, we will also be writing it 6 times. Then comes your number 7. It has been written in the data 5 times. So, we are also writing it 5 times. And finally, your number 8, which has been written 3 times in the data. So, we are also writing it 3 times. Now, you see, we have written the numbers in ascending order from the smallest to the biggest. And the other thing is that we have written the number as many times as it has been written in the data. Okay? Now, in the same example in descending order. Now, again, what we are doing? The number 8 is the biggest number. So, we have written it in the beginning. But it has been written 3 times in the data. So, we will also write it 3 times. The next number is number 7. It has been written 5 times in the data. So, we are also writing it 5 times. Then comes your number 6. 6 has been written 6 times in the data. So, we are also writing it 6 times. In the same way, number 5 we have written 4 times, and again the number 3 and number 2 has been written one time. Why? Because it has also been written one time in the data. So, now we have understood how to write in ascending and descending order. Now comes your tabulation of data. It is arrangement of data in a systematic form in a table. In the form of table means writing the data in the form of rows and columns. Let's take an example. In this example, a teacher is asking each student to give a choice of destination for a trip from among the following: Shimla, Manali, Kashmir or Agra. Now see, the teacher has written in the form of row and column. The roll number 1, Amit, has opted for Kashmir. The roll number 2, Ankit, has opted for Manali. The roll number 3, Anuradha, has opted for Agra. The roll number 4, Anudita, has opted for Kashmir. And roll number 5, Arun, has opted for Shimla. Now see, the teacher has recorded the information in the form of row and columns. Like the teacher notes the marks of the student in the form of rows and columns. That is also a table. The teacher takes your attendance in the class. That is also a table. Hence, whenever we are writing the data or recording the data in the form of rows and columns, that is your tabulation of data. Next comes your statistic. It is the study of collection, organization, presentation, analysis and interpretation of data. What are these heavy words written over here? Let's see one by one. What do you mean by collection? Collection means collecting the information in the form of numerical figures or a set of different facts, or gathering and recording information and then presenting it in a way that is meaningful to others. Then comes your organization. Organization means arrangement of figures in such a form that can be used for further analysis. Presentation. Presentation means arranging in the form of tables, graphs, chart, pie chart or whichever method you are suitable with and then presenting it to others. Analysis. It uses analytical and logical reasoning to gain information from the data. The main purpose is to find meaning in the data. What information has been given to us by that data. Then comes your interpretation. Interpretation is conclusion. What is the result of the research and what is the purpose of that research? That is your statistic. So, in this video, we have studied about what is data handling and the different terms of data handling. In our next video, we will study about how to organize the data. I hope you have liked this video. Thank you.